Okay, but I don't know how to say this without, and listen, Jimbo makes 90 million. Okay. Jimbo makes $90 million. So I guess I don't need to be sensitive to Jimbo's feelings, for goodness sakes. But Jimbo's got to do some reevaluation on what he wants to be offensively. I mean, I don't think there's a quarterback in the country that's going to be very successful with the pieces they have on offense, lack of a deep threat, Anais Smith out. You got one of the best running backs in the country in Achane. That dude is an animal. Your offensive line is kind of figuring itself out. But again, play calling, what you are, what your identity is. And again, I think Jimbo has done a great job in his life when he has certain pieces. When he has certain pieces, I think Jimbo's a phenomenal offensive coach. I want to see Jimbo Fisher do this and mold to his pieces. Whatever he has, he needs to find a way to make it successful. That's his job. And I think, if you put Wigman in the game, he's going to have the same result as Max Johnson. He's going to have the same result as Haynes King. He's going to struggle his flipping tail off, especially against a team like Alabama. So I don't know that you help him and you give any future hope against Alabama this week. Now, maybe down the road if the schedule lightens up like crazy, but there's not a lot of that going on. I think A&M's looking for wins at some point, hopes, the recruiting class now, all that momentum that Jimbo had in the offseason and last year is tanking the other direction. You need to find a way to create more momentum, because here's the thing. What has everybody done for years against Kirby Smart? Well, they're not going to throw it. Well, you don't want to be a weapon to go there. What is everybody going to do to A&M right now? Like, look at that offense. You want to go play that offense? Look at that offense the past couple of years. That's what you want to hitch your wagon to? Like, I know you're going to get money and you're going to get NIL deals, but is that what you're going to go to the NFL and that? Like, I'm just telling you what recruiting will look like and what people will be saying behind closed doors.
And how about
think
this?
Jimbo has to give up play calling? Do you think that, like, to evolve, as David says, do you think they need an offense coordinator who calls plays and he needs to just accept his de-geniusing?
Either that or, and Pete, you and I have talked about this a couple of times, and I'm going to bring it up again because I thought it was a really insightful point. And I'm going to go ahead and take away what Pollack is going to zing me with immediately. Clearly, it's not working yet for David Shaw, but it's a smart way to think about things. He was talking about how much of my institutional knowledge of what Stanford should look like is still valuable. So he's made some changes, haven't worked yet, for sure. But the philosophy of evaluating that is smart. And that's what Jimbo has to do, in my judgment. If he is not willing to do that, then yes, he probably does need to change and give up play calling. But if he is willing to say, how much of my institutional knowledge of what a Jimbo Fisher offense, what the quarterbacks are supposed to look like, what the tempo should be in this era of college football, what type of quarterback I should have, those types of things, if he's willing to look at that and sort of overhaul his belief system, keep what works for sure, because he hasn't just suddenly forgotten how to develop a quarterback or orchestrate an offense. It's not like he doesn't know how to do it in the modern era. He just needs to figure out what's holding him back, what's keeping him from evolving and taking the next step and being explosive the way they used to be when, in his LSU offenses and his Florida State offenses. And I know the cynics are going to say, well, he had Jameis or well, he had EJ Manuel, but still, I mean, I think he needs to look at that. And if he's willing to reevaluate that institutional knowledge, great. If he's not, he probably needs to give up the reins, because it's not good enough.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.